sales. 11 million sold worldwide. 50 Cent.
If I sell one record under what I sold on my first album, in my head, that's a failure.
He set his sights on #1.
You've had this success. You don't need Eminem and Dre to sell records anymore.
And now he stands alone.
Is it lonely at the top?
When hip-hop is an empire, being the boss means defending your turf.
I still heard what you said. You should have kept that in your house.
And any artist gunning for his spot will have to face the massacre.
They'll see more damage done than they've ever seen before.
From behind closed doors, in a place where the powerful rise and fall.
That's for you doing that, and you're gonna accept that.
The new boss would like to see you.
Once again, all eyes on me.
All eyes on 50 Cent, the sequel. New York City. All eyes are on 50 Cent. Again. In just 2 years, the young soldier has elevated to boss status in the world of hip-hop. It was appropriate then that we convene at a place the legendary bosses would approve of. Sparks Steakhouse in New York City, site of the infamous hit on Gambino crime boss Paul Castellano. Big Paulie often held court in the private Rose Room at Sparks. And even today, you can feel the ghosts watching over. This is the only place to discuss the massacre.
All right, 50, here we go again. All right, now throughout the years, the big bosses in New York City, yeah, they've all come here to conduct business and wine and dine. So since you graduated, we thought it'd be fitting that we have you sit at this table while you and I get down to business, all right? Let's start with the title of your album, The Massacre. Why did you call it The Massacre?
I think it's aggressive enough. I think that it's gonna be hard for my fellow artists to survive.
Well, you predicting that once this album drops, you're gonna knock all your competitors off the charts, out of the game.
They'll see more damage done than they've ever seen before. You know what I'm saying? On the scale of success that I've had with Get Rich or Die Trying, I understand exactly why I get the envy and the jealousy that I have going on with me in New York City, particularly in New York City. And my last LP sold more than everyone who's released the album. And would you consider New York City hip-hop?
Absolutely.
Every single one of them, add them all up, and it ain't 11 million records.
Any of these guys take shots at you. If anybody want to challenge you in your career, your profession, your safety.
It's cool. I'm from an environment where the price of life is cheap. This is what I'm used to. It's actually a comfort zone for me to have issues.
The Massacre finds 50 feeling real comfortable, and his swagger's definitely evident as he verbally attacks foes, old and new.
You got a record called Piggy Bank.
Yeah.
And in this record, you diss Fat Joe, you diss Jadakiss, and you diss Nas.
You know, I didn't diss anybody. I made factual statements about them. I'm responding to the things that they're doing. So I hear everything, every little thing, things that they would probably think didn't count because it didn't do anything for their career. I still heard what you said.
So what is it that you confronted on this record, Piggy Bank, concerning Jada, Fat Joe, in general?
I'm responding to the things that they're doing. I mean, it's been visible.
I'm from New York, and this is how we do.
That song, New York, features Jadakiss and Fat Joe rapping alongside Ja Rule, whose own beef with 50 stems from an old street rivalry in Queens. In 50's eyes, that means they've chosen sides.
They come from environments where they know, and they ain't in the dark. They know what it is. This is not music beef. Now, it doesn't stem from music. It comes from actual street. Now, that don't die. So it's like, you don't stand so close to that person that you view it as an ally to him. Well, I'm gonna sit back so you can try and help him. That's exactly what they did with I'm from New York.
Now, on The Massacre, 50's upping the lyrical ante.
That fat thought lean back was in the club, my sold 11 mil. This was a dud.
That's me saying, you know what? That's for you doing that, and you're gonna accept that. If you keep responding, I'll keep going until you don't exist anymore.
So you're not fearful of the backlash that could come from it?
Backlash of what? See, you know what? First you gotta have a legitimate opponent to respect them. Fat Joe and Jadakiss, come on, baby. These don't even count, babe.
I mean, combined, I mean, they sell records. They got
They
credibility.
sell 1 million. They probably sell 1.5 together. Their last 2 releases add up to 1,500,000 copies, both of them together.
Jadakiss is a well-liked guy. There's not many
I don't
people,
care.
too many places who
I
doesn't
don't
like
care.
you.
If you want to be technical, there's a lot of people, a lot of places that don't even know who Jadakiss is. I've been in markets that have no idea who Jadakiss is.
Who's your favorite music?
50 Cent.
50 Cent gets everywhere.
You know, I performed in Nigeria in front of 100,000 people by myself. Go to Nigeria and ask them about Fat Joe and Jadakiss. And I'm gonna know who you're talking about. Dubai, go there, go to all these different places. They don't know these people.
What happened with R. Kelly in the summer when you went on stage and verbally attacked R. Kelly?
He had made the song that he has out with Ja Rule and Ashanti.
Just like Fat Joe and Jadakiss, R. Kelly's appearance with Ja on the track Wonderful made him guilty by collaboration. And that drew 50's wrath before Kelly took the stage at a New York radio concert last summer.
There was a possibility we'd bring him out, so I damaged the situation before he had an opportunity. I went on before him, I said what I said, and as I left, 60% of the building left with us. And I mean, he came out about 45 minutes later and did his set. He didn't bring Ja with him, but he could've. So I had to do it to him because he could've. I don't actually have issues with R. Kelly.
You don't have an issue with him, but he probably has an issue with you.
I don't give a about an issue. So R. Kelly, that.
So that was like a preempted strike.
Yeah.
All right.
At this particular point, if I let up off of Murray, right? They linger for a little bit. People start to feel like it's okay to like them. They get back in position, then guess what? They want to fight again. You know, now they want to, ooh, peace treaty, white flag, everybody, ooh, please get up off us. This kid is killing us. But when you let them get back up on their feet, they want to fight again. That's why I said, for me, when you begin to destroy, you should destroy completely.
When do you get to the point, though, that you ignore those things and it's beyond you, or it's beneath you, so to speak, and it's like, oh, come on, man, that's a fly hitting a brick wall? Or do you ever get to that point?
You know what I think their actions come from their interactions with the guy in the spot before me. That's Jay-Z. And I think Jay-Z, he doesn't mind them saying things and doing what they're doing because he's looking at him like, yeah, bum ass. You know, so he ain't saying nothing to him because he feel like they're beneath him. You know, but I got the time and energy to ruin what is left of their careers if they want to do that.
Is that a true lyric that you had sex with a lot of Hollywood actresses? You don't necessarily need Eminem and Dre to sell records anymore.
All eyes on 50 Cent, the sequel.
Make no mistake, 50 Cent is still on top of his game. And he's back with the new album aimed at anyone gunning for his spot, The Massacre.
Other artists, they would rather see me do bad. You know, so it kind of fuels me, though. It gives me the energy to keep working.
If your records aren't surrounded by drama or beef, do you still think you have the same appeal to the consumer on the street?
Absolutely. None of those issues or things that you're saying sell records. It may create gossip. It may create talk in the neighborhood. You know, if there's a possibility it could really get bad. Just because people love trouble. You know, they want to watch, they want to see it up close. It's the reason why I pick up the newspaper every day. Ain't nothing good in it. But none of my singles commercially have been those records.
Okay.
You know, in the club, you think that wouldn't have sold a record without anything else being on it?
What's the story behind In the Club? It almost wasn't yours, right?
Yeah, it actually was given to D12 first. And then I guess they just didn't hear themselves over the record, you know, but when I heard it, I was like, shit. Let me get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in the club, PIMP, 21 Questions, these records are not records addressing anybody.
You know, all eyes are on 50 Cent again, so to speak, but in a sense, they never left because unlike your mentor, Dr. Dre, who might drop an album every 7 years, you never left.
Well, I'm making up almost 70% of the black music at Interscope Records. So it'd be a long time for you to see me just disappear because I took my energy and I've utilized it in the right ways to create new artists, new avenues. Let's say 50 Cent record doesn't meet standards. People decide they don't want to buy it. That doesn't damage Lloyd Banks, who's going to continue to sell records. Doesn't damage Young Buck, who's going to continue to sell records. All game.
But are you fearful of becoming oversaturated where people have heard you so much that it's like, oh man, another 50 Cent record?
I don't believe in oversaturation. I think that counts to artists that can't continue to recreate themselves. It doesn't feel like I'm oversaturated because I gave them different records. You could have got PIMP, you could have got that from Snoop, you could have got that from Nelly, you could have got that from Too Short. I'm High All the Time. You could have got that from Snoop. You could have got that from Method Man. These are people who consistently sell 500,000 records, basing their entire album on that particular thing. I take my shirt off. You can get that from LL. You can get that from DMX. These things have been seen before. It's been done. It's just you haven't had one person be able to execute all of it. That's the difference.
Let me ask you this question. When you first came in the game, one of the points that you made about Ja Rule as an artist is the fact that he sings in his choruses. He got a bunch of love songs for girls. Well, you sing in your choruses. You make love songs for girls on the radio.
I made one record. I've made one record.
Okay.
And I didn't actually sing on the chorus. Smile.
Wow.
I want to be the reason you smile.
Yeah. But what would be the difference between Ja Rule then and 50 Cent now?
The lyrical content. The content is still so much stronger than what they're doing.
So you would argue the fact that even though you guys do similar tactics and records, you and Ja Rule, that it's a total difference.
I made a record like that.
Okay.
And that's me diversifying what they've seen from me, not being the norm.
When it comes to making hits, 50 claims he's a true PIMP, and that would appear to carry benefits beyond the charts.
You wrote a song, it's called Writer Music. It's something to the effect that I've had sex, but half of Hollywood are probably your favorite actress. Is that a true lyric that you've had sex with a lot of Hollywood actresses?
Let me ask you something, right?
Okay.
I want to ask you a question. You've asked me a lot of questions. Do you think that's possible?
Do I think it's possible that you've had sex with? Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Then that's good enough right there. As long as they think it's possible, that's good, you know?
From Hollywood to Hollis, 50's had him in a frenzy. But true bosses parlay, and 50's parlayed 50 Mania into 50 Inc.
Since we talked last, not only have you sold over 10 million records, not to mention the records you sold under the radar, the mixtape records and the little side deals you might have caught, you know, and then you got G-Unit clothing, sneakers, you got the G-Unit watch, 50 vitamin water.
It was always a plan for that. Like when I started my record, Get Rich or Die Trying, the first statement I made is G-Unit. Whoa, we in here. I'm applying the same ethics that I learned from the block to this business. I keep working out nonstop.
But then you get into this business so you could leave that whole block mentality. You want to
No,
leave
not the mentality. Leave the block.
Okay.
Is what I was trying to do. Get away from it. That mentality is what I've known to just stay on the corner. I stay on the corner as long as there's money coming. And that's what I'm going to do in the entertainment business. I'm going to be on the TV as long as they're paying me. That's it. It's the same thing. And I feel like as long as consistency is the key to all success, and as long as you can consistently keep good product, they're going to come by it.
The New York Times reported that in 2004, 50 Cent made 50 million. And that's a piggy bank that's got him standing toe-to-toe with mentors Eminem and Dr. Dre.
Em and Dre both are bosses. So now I fits in, and I fit as a third party, and I'm working my way to being respected as if I'm equivalent.
So how does that work now? You've had this success, and the dynamic of the hierarchy starts to change because you don't necessarily need Eminem and Dre to sell records anymore.
Ultimately, Dre holds the most weight.
Okay.
But I'm straight. I don't need for it to be made by a specific producer. You know, a lot of times, it'd be new producers. This guy made his beat. in the basement.